6-inch hole.
Yeah.
8-inch, but yeah. Wow.
Look at that thing. He's coming in hot. Fall through a hole for this fish. Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of our Michigan Hardwater Report, where we bring you ice conditions from all across the state of Michigan. This week's report is looking very promising, probably our best report yet, to be honest with you. So stay tuned. We got a lot of great reports coming to you from the Upper Peninsula and Lower Peninsula. If you appreciate these kind of reports and you find these helpful, we just ask that you please like this video. There's also a hype button. If you see that, hit that. It just helps the distribution of these reports. And if you haven't yet, please consider a subscription. We'd truly appreciate that. It's much needed support for the channel. As a reminder, also, we want to bring to your attention every Sunday on Facebook and also here on YouTube in our community. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you check that out. We will drop posts for you to share your conditions from your neck of the woods. Over on Facebook, they are zone specific, so make sure you're dropping your report in the correct county, the correct zone over there, please. And of course, be sure to send in your pictures, your videos. If you got a great catch you want to show off, make sure you put that in there, and we'll pop these in, pop that in the video also. So, without further ado, let's kick it off.
Welcome back, guys. Week 8, Robert here checking in. So, kind of got a mixed bag this week. Got a little bit of good, a little bit of not so good, but all around, we're fishing. So, if you live in the snowbelt areas of the Northwest, you already know the story. We have been absolutely pounded with the snow here lately. I was out on Green Lake here last weekend and did a little smelt fishing on Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. And there was anywhere from, I would say, 8 to 10 inches of snow on top of the ice. And then in certain areas it got real slushy. There was anywhere from 3 to 4 inches of slush. But you could find, solid ground. But, yeah, it was rough going. There's probably, I would say, 7 to 8 inches of ice out there. Probably 2 to 3 inches of clear. And then everything on top is that white cloudy ice. But with the way the weather's been, the temperatures have been staying cold, so everything is, it's slushing out during the day, it's locking up at night, and the more foot traffic we put out there, it's tightened things up a little bit, but it's still slushy in areas, especially if you get off into the areas where nobody's been yet. There's definitely some slush pockets. But Lake Cadillac, Lake Mitchell, same thing. There's snow out there. They've got good ice, but there's snow on top, so guys are getting around with sleds, stuff like that. Fishing has been kind of hit and miss. It's been quiet down that way these last couple of days. Haven't really heard too much out of there. But, it's that time of year. We're kind of right on that edge of shutting the lake effect off with the main lakes freezing up. So, hopefully, fingers crossed, here in the next couple of weeks, this lake effect will finally die out, and we'll get some time to really lock some of these lakes up. Tim got us some footage of Burt Lake here. Burt Lake is looking good. There is a little bit of snow up there. There is some drifting in some spots, but for the most part, it's not bad. Guys are still getting around up there with four-wheelers, snowmobiles, stuff like that. But if the four-wheelers are getting around, it can't be too bad. Fishing's been pretty good up that way. Nothing crazy, but guys have definitely been putting some fish topside. And then the same thing with Mullet Lake. Mullet Lake's got a little bit of snow on it, but ice conditions are looking really good up that way. Guys are still getting around up there on foot, four-wheelers, snowmobiles, you name it. They're getting around up there. So it just kind of depends on where you're at and how much snow you've gotten. I've heard guys are still getting out on Lake Charlevoix. I can't confirm that. I haven't been up that far north yet. But from what I've heard, they were getting after some perch, some walleye, starting to get some pike out of there. Lake Leelanau, guys are still chasing walleye down on the south end. I've heard that it is getting a little bit slushy now that we've gotten some more snow. For the most part, though, it sounds like the main area in the south there, the Big Bay, it's got really good ice, but like I said, there is slush pockets, so just be careful. Green's got some snow on it, slushy. Same thing with Duck Lake. There was a report last week on Duck Lake that there were some open areas closer to shore, so just keep in mind if you are out there, you know, pay attention to what's going on around you, spud your way around, especially if you're going to an area where no one has been yet. East of 75, really, I mean, you get east of the snow belts and things are looking really good. East side's, all the lakes that I've heard about, they're anywhere from 10 inches upwards of 15 inches of ice. So there are some areas, you know, they do have some snow. They got a little bit of snow on top. Nothing too crazy, but for the most part, things are looking good right now. And the straits have finally locked up. Guys are getting ready to get out there and get after the Lakers. I know there's a few guys that have already been up there and gotten after the Lakers. So really, it's time. If you're into the getting onto the hard water, now is definitely the time to be out there. But until next week, if you got any pictures, any success, send them in. We'll post them up. If you got any ice reports or any dangerous areas, send them our way. We will definitely get them up. Take it easy.
Hey guys, welcome back this week. I'm Dennis Poet. This ice report comes out of Southeast Michigan. First up from Facebook, we've got, hope I'm saying this right, Jerry Motters. He's reporting 10.5 inches out of Oakland County. Next up is Sloan Matthew out of Monroe County. He's reporting 8 to 11 inches where he's fishing. Next up, we got Troy John from YouTube again. He's reporting we've got ice covering all the lakes in Jackson County finally. Complete turnaround from last Saturday. He said he'll be heading out on Saturday with his buddy heater and his spud to go fish to frigid temperatures. Good luck out there. Next up from YouTube, we got Kickford. He reports from Lenawee County. Spudded his way out about 100 yards. The ice was real thick, and then all of a sudden it went to 2 inches. He said the lakes are locking up real quick. Next up from YouTube, we got Scott Hill Outdoors. He's reporting about 8 inches of ice on Lake St. Clair out of Metro Beach as far as Saturday. My report comes out of Wayne County area, borderline Washtenaw County. My home lake is Belleville Lake, and I fish a lot of Belleville and Ford Lake. They're attached, and from what I'm getting from most of the guys around here, they're actually seeing 8 to 10 inches out on Belleville Lake in some spots. There are a few where they're reporting 6, but we're finally making good solid ice down here. I'm real excited. I'm hoping to get out this weekend. If you guys are going, be safe, tight lines, and make sure you send us your pics and your videos. We'd love to get you up on a page. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey everybody, Tim checking back in to cover the West Michigan ice condition report. Things are looking really good all over West Michigan. A lot of great reports coming in. Safe ice is abound. Haven't heard anything about any slop or slush or anything. That is definitely something to keep an eye on. I know you guys over there get a lot of lake effect snow. So just keep that in mind if you have any snow coming, which we'll just jump right into the forecast real quick. I'm just seeing a chance of snow showers for the remainder of this week. It's Tuesday as we're doing this report. This weekend looks absolutely great. Right now it's calling for mostly sunny weather. And then back into the early part of next week, another chance of snow showers. Temperatures, we're looking the remainder of this week, mid to upper teens, overnight lows, single digits and dropping below 0 different nights. And then coming out of the weekend, or into the weekend and coming out, we're looking at 20s to mid 20s for highs and overnight lows around that 10 to 15 degree range. So just continued great ice making weather. So One thing to keep in mind is that ice continues to grow, pushes on each other. Look for pressure cracks, shelf ice, those type of things. Especially you get a little bit of snow, it can hide that stuff pretty good on you. So just be very careful out there as you're venturing out on the ice. Lots of reports coming in of machines being taken out, multiple lakes over that way. So be careful there also. So just some reports here real quick. We have Brad Jordan reporting out of Ionia County, Ionia/Berry County line, I should say. Out there on his machine, he's got a trailer just packed full, so that tells me there's good ice there where he's at. Thank you, Brad, for that report. Appreciate that. Then we also have Ian Bowers checking in out of Muskegon County with a nice walleye there. That's a nice looking fish there. And then one more report here, Terry Lanning got his tip up, set out, ready to rock, and that's also out of Muskegon County. So just want to thank everybody for sharing those reports. Truly appreciate it. Be safe out there, have fun, and let's get some reports coming in with some pics of success. So until next week, tight lines.
What's going on, guys? Bill here checking in for this week's ice report, coming to you from Northern Bay County. Things are really shaping up here for the Bay. East side, west side, guys are getting out all over right now. Averaging roughly 8 to 10 inches of ice out there, and we're making more every day. But currently, I know there's a handful of open spots. Airborne Angler was out a couple of days ago doing a pre-weekend flight, and there's still some open water, a couple of holes. I know one of them's just out of the river mouth by Channel Island. Last weekend, 2 sleds went through over on Callahan, so I'm sure that ice is still kind of sketchy right there. For the most part, ice seems to be 8 to 10 inches average out there right now, which is awesome. But like I said, there is still a few thin spots. Saginaw River guys, those guys are getting out. First Street, Zilwaukee, pretty much anywhere you can get out. I'm hearing anywhere 5 to 8 inches of ice on the river. Guys are getting them, a lot of little ones. You really got to work through them, but you put the time in, you'll get your limit. But yeah, I've been hearing a lot of guys are catching shorts, but at least they're getting out. And then as far as most of the inland lakes in our area, Zone 4, anywhere between 8 to 12 inches right now. A lot of the inland lakes have a lot more ice. Fishing I hear has been slow on them. I haven't got out yet. I'm actually getting out tomorrow, so I can get you a live report tomorrow from the Bay, considering I get out of work in time. But as of right now, the Bay's sitting pretty good. As long as the winds are kind of, stayed away for now, everything's locking up real nice. 10-day forecast, again, looks fantastic, unless you work outside. I do. Then it's not so great, but for building ice, we're building ice. Forecast looks fantastic. So you guys get out, be safe. Just biggest thing I would say if you guys are gonna go to the Bay this weekend is just do a little digging on Facebook. Airborne Angler flies his plane around and gets a lot of very good pictures for us. Now for the whole Bay community, and that is a huge asset. But he took some pictures the other day of the holes, where they're at, where they're, coordinates to them, ballparked on the map. So that's my biggest recommendation. If you guys are gonna hit the Bay this weekend, just make sure where you're going. Be safe. So hopefully we're getting some good fish. Like I said, I'll be out tomorrow. Can hopefully get a live report going. So till next week, guys, be safe.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another week of Michigan Outdoors Report Ice Report. So we'll just jump kind of right into it. Been hearing a lot of really good reports across the state. Up in the UP, we'll start there. Dan M1972. Yeah, we get the weird names when it comes onto the YouTube channel, but he left the comments on the YouTube channel from last week saying Sault Ste. Marie, he was 200 yards out. He was sitting on about 8 inches of ice, catching some coho, some splake, and some cisco. Sounds like a pretty fun day, personally. And then also there was other reports of upwards of 8 inches on St. Mary River.
and also coming in from the locks as well. Appears that you guys have some pretty good ice heading towards the UP. I remember last week there were some reports of up to 20 plus inches on some of the areas. I didn't find anything really on Big Bay Denok, so I don't have a whole lot of information for you guys on that. But I know Little Bay Denok's got some good ice on it. Guys are getting out there quite a ways and seems to be doing pretty good on some perch and some walleye. So UP, you guys sound like you've ice is punked up for you and everything's pretty solid. I know Tim was talking about possibly hitting the straits coming up this weekend. Try to get out and get some lake trout on the ice. So let's bounce down into the southwest corner of Michigan, or zone 1. We've got Cody Bresman coming in with this picture. Kind of shows, he said that there was 6 inches of ice where the white ice is, which is usually a sign of meltdown. A little bit of snow mixed in there and refreeze. But right next to it in the clear ice areas, it was only 2 inches thick. So we go back to take that spud, man. Take that spud, and spud your way out. I don't care if you're 100 pounds or you're 400 pounds. Spud your way out. A lot of lakes down the southern part of Michigan just quite aren't ready for machines yet. Guys are pushing the limits. I keep seeing rescues. Even out on Saginaw Bay still, there's guys reporting, I think, and Billy, I'm sure, can contest to this on his report. There's some guys seeing up to 16 inches of ice out on the bay, but yet there's still machines going through and rescues happening. So it's real hit and miss right now. Also got in another report from Philip Poe out of Van Buren County. Lakes down that way, still hit or miss. A lot of the larger bodies of water are super slushy, and they've been getting a ton of snow down that way off the west coast with all these the lake effect snows coming in and dumping a lot of snow down the southern portion of state of Michigan right now. So other than that, I mean, like I said, keep spudding. I mean, get out there, but keep spudding. A lot of these southern lakes have just now locked back up. Although it was super cold, they locked up and then they got covered in snow, so they got insulated, and now it's tough to get those. You know, they're going to be patchy. And as Cody showed in his picture, there's patchy areas where it's going to look like beautiful ice, but it's only 2 inches thick. So machines, my recommendation, stay off them. Stay off them for a little bit longer. By the end of next week, middle of next week, we should be pretty solid, and most of the southern lakes, hopefully. From temperatures I can see, UP, you know you're going to stay cold. Lower part of Michigan, we've got a pretty good cold stretch through next week where I don't see any temperatures coming above freezing. So, guys, get out there. Be safe. Get home to your families. I'll always iterate every week. There's no fish worth your life. So, God bless everybody. Take care. Love y'all, and we'll talk to you again next week. See ya.
All right, that's going to do it for another edition of the Hardwater Report. Again, we want to thank everybody for sharing their pictures. Haven't gotten any videos yet, so feel free to send those in, but we want to thank everybody for sending in those reports. Again, if you'd like to share something with us, you can share it over on Facebook. You can also email us. The email is in the description below in this video here. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, obviously here on YouTube, and then also on Spotify if you're driving back and forth to work. We put these reports up there too if you want to just listen in. So thanks again. Every Sunday, as a reminder, be sure to look out on Facebook, and then also on YouTube. We'll drop a post for you to share your reports there. Please list your county, and again, send in those pics, videos, everything. And until next week, be safe out there and tight lines.